Welcome! Yes, I recorded a scene earlier for a cooking video, and I forgot the goddamn audio wasn't still on. Anyway, welcome to this live stream. We have a request to get to, a Patreon, okay? Possibly some things, and Power Falcon, I'll get to your requests tomorrow. We begin our broadcast tonight with Soft Language by George Carlin. And boy, do we have a lot of lovely stuff to get into. All right.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language.
George Carlin is the grandfather of everyone that does what I do.
Fuck you.
Language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum. Can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables. Shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea in 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no...
When the fuck did he do this? He did this in the 90s. The war been over for damn near 30 years.
Surprised that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you that.
And I completely agree with them on that. If we were still calling it shell shocked.
But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area, so many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie and engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually...
Although I will say, disinformation is probably the stupidest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard.
You are fake news.
Do your own fucking research.
He measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they? Never mention that part of it.
And if you want to know briefly, Iran-Contra was a bunch of, again, Islamic assholes.
some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Look, on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe the condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them call that differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase?
Hello, George.
Haven't we had about enough of this cigar-smoking shit in this country? Huh? Hey, God. When is this going to end? When is this shit going to go away? When are these fat, arrogant, overpaid, overfed, overprivileged, overindulged, white-collar business criminal asshole cocksuckers going to put out their cigars and move along to their next abomination? White pussy businessmen sucking on a big brown dick. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it was. Yeah. A big brown dick. Sigmund Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Oh yeah? Well, sometimes it's a big brown dick. With a fat, arrogant, white-collar business criminal asshole sucking on the wet end of it. But hey, the news is not all bad for me. Not all bad. You want to know the good part? Cancer of the mouth. Good. Fuck 'em. Makes me happy. It's an attractive disease. Goes nice with a cell phone. So light up, suspender man, and suck that smoke deep down into your empty suit and blow it out your ass, you fucking cocksucker. Thank you. Thank you.
It's pointless, but like, I'm sorry, a lot of like, you know what? Here's the problem, dipshit. You're too dumb to be able to parse the nuances in what these comedians are actually fucking saying. Okay? These
And God, I wish you were still here with us, George. You might be 105 right now, but God, I wish you were here still with us. All right, next up is this from Rashad Ritchie. White Illinois man fatally stabs a black 18-year-old Walmart worker. Now, was it because he was black or Walmart worker, or is this guy just some lone fucking nut?
And fatally stabs a black 18-year-old Walmart worker. Illinois, Timothy Carter on the left, accused of killing an 18-year-old Jason Jenkins.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back. Okay. Again, we're back to this. So, did this guy stab this young Walmart worker because he was black or because he was just fucking nuts?
On the right, Walmart employee during his shift over the weekend. Carter was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for killing the teenager.
Okay. What's your problem? He is arrested and he's charged with first-degree murder, which I'm assuming in this state means death! What more do you want?
Here are the events that led up to the attack. Based on court records obtained by WIFR, Carter told investigators that he went to the health center. Rose Rants for help. He was initially denied treatment until he said he was going to kill himself. Hospital staff then transported him to another facility, UW Health Swedish American Hospital. He was released, again without care.
Okay, what's your point? What does this have to do with the Walmart worker?
And a black star with the details. Well, that's when he went to the Walmart where Jenkins worked. Carter was captured on video with 2 knives, giving all of the African American people dirty looks, according to a report.
Okay, so again, what's your point? We should have. You can't just hold people against their will because you think they're crazy. What was this guy looking for? Was he looking for actual mental health, or was he looking for goddamn pain pills?
This video reportedly shows Carter grabbing a silver kitchen knife and a red hunting knife from the store. Witness, who is also an employee at Walmart, said she heard Carter using a racial slur before Jenkins screamed inside the store. The attacker reportedly stabbed Jenkins while his back was turned, violently inserting the knives into his lower back.
Okay, so he's a lunatic. We'll keep him locked up for the rest of his life. What do you want us to do about it?
When officers from the Rockford Police Department arrived at the local retail chain around 6 p.m. on Sunday, they found the victim with a life-threatening stab wound to the back. Jenkins was taken to a hospital for treatment, but succumbed to his injuries.
Oh, what? Are the cops supposed to have magical powers to heal the young man's wounds?
They said Carter and the victim did not know each other. Police say the investigation.
Oh my God, this is why black people make the most infuriating people on news. Jesus fucking Christ. You don't need to accentuate everything.
Is ongoing.
With millions watching and many people benefiting.
Yes, and your boss's Turkish ass running out of money. It's time for you to beg. All right, Letitia, what do you got?
Nothing short of heartbreaking. A teenager hard at work, randomly stabbed to death
And if he was white, you wouldn't have given a shit.
by this man.
And if it was a white teenager stabbed by a black mental patient, you wouldn't have given a shit.
In these cases, Jackson, perhaps because I'm a mother, I gotta blame somebody. Someone is to blame. This could have been prevented.
No, it couldn't have. We can't forcibly hold people, at least anymore, in asylums. Cost of doing business. Sorry this young man had to die.
What say you?
Yeah, I think unfortunately when you see situations like this, often they're littered with opportunities to have been for something to have been prevented. Even if you look outside at different types of.
It is nigh impossible for the government to commit someone for mental reasons. Okay. There is nothing they could have done. I don't know why this guy checked himself into a hospital. My gut tells me he was looking for pain pills or something.
Domestic abuse situations that end up leading up to murder. It could be incident after incident where police often just, whatever. They don't really put forth any effort.
I mean, look, forcibly holding someone against their will is almost impossible, even if they have dementia. Because all they got to do is prove one day to a judge they're still with it and they're out of the nursing home. Even though the first day they're placed in their apartment, they forget to flush the toilet, shit on the couch, and forget to turn the oven off. It's incredibly hard to put someone somewhere against their will outside of a crime.
Do anything about it because
if we could, a lot of these old motherfuckers would not be driving anymore.
But this man clearly was a menace to society, and he took the life of somebody who had their whole life ahead of them.
Yeah, and when a black motherfucker does it to when a black 16-year-old ganger banger kills another 16-year-old black ganger banger, I don't hear you guys whining and crying about it. All right, I'm done with this. Ganger banger. All right. All right, now we're going to move on.
Trump be president for life. Conservatives get their way, that's exactly what they'll get.
No, they won't, because conservatives would have to pass a constitutional amendment revoking the 25th Amendment. And that would require 3/4 of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, and 2/3 of the states. Good!
fucking lot.
And by the way, even I would be opposed to Trump having more than the next 4 years in office.
Peter Tungette, a right-wing writer, made the argument in The American Conservative this week that Trump should be eligible for—
Oh, 22nd, 25th, whatever, fuck off. No, he shouldn't. Trump served one term as president. Trump will most likely serve a second term as president. After that, for Trump to serve anything more, he would have to get another constitutional amendment passed. He's not going to do that. And also at that point, I think age will have caught up finally with Mr. Trump.
Primary season has shown us the Republicans have not moved on from Trump. Yet the 22nd Amendment works to constrain their enthusiasm by prohibiting
Thank you. Okay, apparently it's 2/3 of the both chambers and then 75% of the states. Good luck. Good luck. And then this all has to be done within 4 years, too.
from rewarding Trump with re-election 4 years from now. He continues, the case of Donald Trump, however, makes an even more forceful ethical argument against the 22nd Amendment. And
who do I think Trump's successor will be? I'll just go out on a limb considering we're like 8 years from it or whatever. I'm going to DeSantis, I guess.
It's repeal. If a man who once was president returns after a series of years to stand again for the office and prove so popular as to earn a second non-consecutive term, as Trump seems bound to do, to deny him the right to run for a second consecutive term cuts against basic fair play.
No, the president can serve 2 terms, no more. If Trump wants to serve more, yeah, he'd have to pass another amendment.
If by 2028 voters feel Trump has done a poor job, they can pick another candidate. But if they feel he delivered on his promises, why should they be denied the freedom to choose him once more?
Because, yeah.
In the piece, Tungette acknowledges that the 22nd Amendment was a response to FDR's 4 terms, but argues those who supported the amendment more than 70 years ago could not have foreseen the prospect of a one-term president who lost the office, but who later regained it in a subsequent—
Yes, they could have, because Grover Cleveland was before that. And my God, I'm actually agreeing with goddamn the Young Turks. But back then, up until FDR's greedy ass got in, nobody would have dared challenge Washington on the 2 terms.
Madeline Peltz of Media Matters pointed
I take the back. A few did, they all lost.
The American Conservative publishing this column illustrates the broader anti-democratic scheme on the right. The American Conservative is a partner in Project 2025, the conservative movement's comprehensive transition plan for the next Republican presidency. Project 2025, organized and led by the Heritage Foundation, a leading right-wing think tank, is a policy and staffing initiative that threatens to weaken democracy, significantly roll back civil rights, and exacerbate climate change, among other issues. And the arguments that Trump should only be able to serve, or should be able to serve more than 2 terms, or the fact that he could be a dictator for a day, as he lays out.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt did go for a 3rd term, but he went with a 3rd party, and he didn't get anywhere close. I mean, he at least got an electoral vote. But,
Michael Shore talked to Trump supporters, and this is what they told him.
Would you rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years or re-elect Joe Biden for 4 years?
I would rather have Donald Trump. I'd like them to see the repeal of the Roosevelt law so that he can be a president for a lot more than 4 years.
I think I'm choosing Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 more years.
4 years.
All you gotta do is pass the constitutional amendment.
To a dictator Trump.
Yeah, I'm going dictator Trump for sure.
I'd rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years. Absolutely.
Trump.
As a dictator.
Sometimes in life, we all need a good paddling from the principal.
Wow.
What do you want to talk about, Underhaven?
Coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry.
Yeah, because you're a shitty businessman, and that's where I'm going to cut this off. That's the thing.
It's the show where I have you have questions and I have answers.
Suck, Dave. Bad jokes suck.
Look, there's no point arguing about whether or not a dead comedian is
right, yeah. I mean,
on one side or the other. It's
I know they would hate George Carlin.
Oh yeah, and we're fucking chicken in the backyard. Oh yes, you better believe we're fucking chicken in the backyard. In fact, if I finish my cigar too early, you may see me fuck that goddamn chicken.